Hello everyone. Let me get us set up. Oh, Oh. Okay. Just coming in. Oh dear. Put the volume on. Nearly disastrous. Okay, and then oh no. And would you look at that? We're live. Woo! Hello everyone. Okay, so tonight we have goodies to play with. We've got the new Montmartre metallic watercolor set to play with, and our 3 turtle stencils. And I also have pulled out of the Woodworks some clear oil pastels. So this is it in the packaging, and this is it outside the packaging. So you can work with them when the packaging falls off. Well, hello Di, hello Pam. So we're going to be using some clear oil pastel, I think, with our turtle stencil and our metallic watercolors. I'm going to go for this side here. Now, the cool thing about clear oil pastels is, and watercolor, is it makes this really nice resistance, but you still get the layers underneath. So let's just come in now and have a try at this, shall we? So I've got my clear oil pastel, and I'm just going to start off with my stencil. I don't know how accurate this is going to be because this is a very detailed stencil. We should be pretty alright. I'm just coming in, and it's like colouring in any stencil, but with kind of like a very soft crayon. You don't have to be too heavy-handed. Just nice and soft to come in. So we are jumping right in to this class. Yep. Right, I'm going to lift it up. You can kind of see where it is because of our little bits that we've left behind, because I'm heavy-handed. But what we're just going to come do is we're just going to come in, and not too heavy. If you don't like the feeling of oil, or you think you're going to be too heavy-handed when rubbing it off, just come in with, this is a very old paintbrush, but a very soft one. That'd be tips. Just come in, and it gets off that excess without moving it too much. And then, ready? We're going to start off with a light color first, because this is going to be like a build-up of turtles. So if we come in with our lightest color on our color palette, which is this beautiful, beautiful color here. Beautiful metallic yellow. Here we go. So we're just going to come in. And come over top. Our oil pastel will create a resistance, which you might not be able to see. We might have to go for a darker color to start with. Hold up. Just want you to see the first one like in full action here. Just coming in and applying that water fairly generously on there. Going for a green. Right. We might go for a thinner paintbrush. I was hoping to use a thick paintbrush tonight, because then it would be, quicker in a sense with the paint layers, and it would dry a little bit faster, but that's okay. But you don't have to use a thick paintbrush. Let's grab this blue here. Here we go. And we are starting to see our turtle. Shall look at that? Woo! That there is nice, I think. So look at him. He's quite beautiful. We're just going to grab out our other watercolor set as well, because we might see how the two watercolor sets go mixing together. Let's just come in and dry this one now. Because we do want each layer to like kind of dry. Okay. So just be wary when using the heat tool with the oil pastel, because it is oil, it's going to heat and it's going to remelt. So it is best to do this technique and leave it to dry and then come and do your next layer. But we're going to do this in an hour, so we'll see how we go. We might have to use the heat tool a little bit, but it won't make too much of a difference. Hello, Diane B. So let's come in and do our next turtle, shall we? So we'll put down a base color first, I think. And let's just put down a base color of this blue. All right, let's come and give it a little bit of a push. And then let's come and do our next. And look at that, that's already practically dry because it is still hot here, kind of. It has been cool all day, but it's, I don't have the fan on in the room I'm working in, so then our paint dries quickly. See how that goes. We might get a little bit heat exhausted, so we might be turning the fan on soon. So once again, we're just coming in with our oil pastel. Right, okay.
It's a camera.
Oh, cool.
Say cheese.
Cheese. I'm trying to teach.
You can feed your friend a letter once I've added stickers to it.
Okay, cool beans. She's made a box camera. That's my little sister. She's having fun. It's the last week of school. Right. And there we go. So once again, just coming in, and if you've got any big flaky bits on them, just brush it off with that hairbrush. Not too like forceful, because you might move it a bit of it accidentally, but for that you'd have to be using like your full strength, so don't worry too much. And then let's go over a clear pastel with this other blue now.
Do you know that Naomi-Jon?
What?
The guy that played Mick Brumby or whatever his name is in things in Pirates of the Caribbean.
Mm.
And that was his last performance before he OD'd.
I am live.
What's that?
I'm trying to teach a live class.
I know. It's cool, eh? Keep going. Keep jumping. Don't let me hold you up.
No, never. So there's our next little turtle friend. So my father was so helpful in giving us some great knowledge.
There you go. It's a bit of trivia.
I am sorry in advance. Now, because it is starting to clog up our stencil, what we are actually going to do is we're going to get a piece of paper we don't particularly like. I've got black tissue paper. And then we're just going to come and quickly heat our stencil. So that was only for about 5 seconds. And then while our oil pastel is moist, slash a little bit warm and heated, I'm going to come in and rub off that pastel. And that is just so it doesn't clog up our stencil. See? No clogs now. None. So, but we only heated it for about 5 seconds because the stencil is still plastic. It will eventually buckle if you just like heat it continuously for about 15 minutes. So for about 5 seconds we heated it, and then yeah. Oh, also these are our little. This is what it looks like when it dries with the glue on top. Thought you might want to see that. It's quite cool, I think. Last week's happy page. Happy, happy, happy. And then let's come in and do another tail. We might do one up here now. I'm going to try and avoid this little body because I don't know if he'll come out particularly well. I do like these, how they've got the centers in them though. Very detailed. So let's come in now and do another one. And then here we go. And we might come and do this one up here as well. And then so we'll just add in that pastel. Okay. Come in, flick off that excess, and then let's see. What other colors are associated with the sea? I find my paintbrush. What other colors would everyone like to see? You reckon maybe let's try out some of these ones. We could try out this darker one maybe. This metallic silver it's called. So we're just coming in, really activating it because I think I want a deep. If we're gonna go silver, we might as well go a deep silver, hey. Not like only a little bit. And then we got this one here. It's that one there, silver. You can't really see that one. Maybe if we try a different color up here. Let's try. I'm trying to teach. I'll get done for sound. Dearing me. This is not shushing context.
You need to clean up your glasses repair area, Quentin.
Oh, they tried repairing Mum's glasses, by the way,
Dad did.
folks. Well, Mum was involved.
Well, I didn't have glasses on. I couldn't see, and he asked me to put a drop of glue somewhere, and I did, and it went everywhere. So I'm wearing the glasses of shame.
I told you it would be your fault.
Beautiful on you.
I told you this would be pinned on you. I did tell you, Dad.
I can get super glue wherever it bunnies.
I told you that you'd get pinned.
Oh. Okie dokie.
Everyone who had a lovely memory of Quentin, hold on to it tight.
Okie dokie.
Amelia, I get pinged for sound.
Okay. Just
Here we go. And a bit of this purple metallic, and I'm just having a bit of fun with these watercolors.
ooh, that'll be funky,
Sorry. My dad's just realised what he's done to Mum's glasses.
You know, what's that gentle fog look?
Gentle fog, I feel like, is an overstatement. Like, what? No, an understatement. Right. We have... Oh, our page is very wet. Okay.
It's gonna translate.
It's very, very wet. I forget how muted watercolors are until we're about too far into the page. So we're going to have to come and do some work. And by work, I just mean a few more layers. So we're just coming in. I'm drying the back of it so then it dries the front. Because it is very wet. Okay. So we've made a page that is very wet. But I definitely want it to be a little bit more darker. And the only way to do that is to continue adding layers. So we might draw an old turtle, I think maybe here. What do you reckon, guys? And then one up here. Or here. Or all three spaces. And then just keep adding watercolor on top. Because this oil pastel is going to stay there. So the more layers we add, the more prominent our turtles are going to become as we go through. So if we come in now, and let's say we add a turtle here. And let's just draw his little shell bits. If you're afraid that your oil pastel is not getting through the stencil, what you can actually come and do is you can put it on one of the corners and just go on that corner. Or you can actually shave it into a shape by putting it into a pencil sharpener and shaving it. However, that does mean that you do waste some of your clear oil pastel, which is why I don't suggest it. Because you can do just as much if you put it on one of the corners. which is what I'm doing. I don't really like wasting art products. I think of it as sort of a crime, but that's probably in the household that I grew up in because, you know, we are keepers of treasured objects, not hoarders. Key difference. And let's come in and making sure our paintbrush again is once again fairly wet or very wet. And just adding in. And as you can see, because we're starting to get enough color onto our page now, that when we add all the color on, it's not as translucent and letting all that whiten, and we're actually starting to get some depth to our color. You can see our turtles a little bit more. So now that we've got our page up to this point where it's absorbing color and not just, you know, like keeping the, where it's like keeping the pigment on top, because we've added enough layers now to it. Let's come in and use some of this metallic purple again. And here we go, folks. Oh, look at that. Doesn't it just inspire? We do sell both the stencil and the oil pastel on the online store. Just as a heads up, we sell both. I do know that most of you will probably already have an oil pastel in your stash, or some of you might have had one from a very long time ago. They were very, I think, fashionable, I guess you could call it, or well used in the very early 2000s. You might not have used yours in a while. So this is like your opportunity to get back into, you know, using some of those pastels you've got stashed away. I'm trying to practice using soft pastels on the weekends when I've got some free time, just so then, you know, we could start using them in classes. As I have done a little bit of work with soft pastels as well as oil pastels. I find them a little bit harder just because they irritate my skin a little bit. So I really have tried to avoid them most of my life because of that. But it's really cool when you add water to it and you just let it it's what I would imagine if you could visualize what hairspray does when it hits hair. Like, it's so cool. And I really want to do that on one of our classes eventually. So I just kind of have to, I'm doing it on the weekends so I can get confident with it, but also so I build up a bit of a tolerance so we can teach it without you looking at me like I'm a tomato. But yeah, it is, and this is a lovely technique. Turtles are my favorite. Oh, they are one of my favorite animals too, Mary. I will have to say I'm a good turtle fan. I love seahorses a lot too. Anything under the water I'm pretty interested in, not gonna lie. But yeah, so this is a really cool technique, as you can see, very effective. So we're just going to keep adding layers. We definitely need to add something to the silver because you guys can't see that at all because of the metallic. So we might come in and just add a little bit of non-metallic to it and really get into, oh, look at that. See? It's all about building the layers. And then let's come in now.
I'll just wear the black pants. The long black pants. Yeah, and I've got a black button-up shirt. And I'll just have that in my car on a hanger. No, it's not later on. Oh, well, I'll just hang my clothes on in the morning.
There we go. And let's add some of this plain purple now. It's just focusing on really making those sweet little differences. And it doesn't matter how many layers of watercolor you put over top of these oil pastels, they are never going to let that watercolor sit on top of it. Just never. Look at that. It might come close if your watercolor isn't watered down enough, but that's only like if you have the driest paintbrush and palette. Unlikely to happen, but if it is, just add a little bit more water.
How's it going?
What's the about? And then I do like, I think though, I think yours is coming in the mail, Bronnie. It is a beautiful stencil, isn't it? I do think though we could do, I think we need the circle template. Hear me out. Because if we do like a circle here, and we do colour, then going around in a circle, it'll look like there's waves. So let me just drink some water first, because we don't have the fan on, so then this dries quickly and we don't have to use the heat tool as much during the class. Only problem with that is it's humid in Gladstone currently, like all the time. And I'm only human. Hello, Rosie. So let's... Yeah, and hello to everyone else who's watching who I haven't said hello to. I'm truly sorry if I haven't. Now, circle. Circle, circle, circle. What does everyone think about that circle idea? Because I'm thinking if we put it like here, and then really spray the colour out. 96%. Oh, beautiful. No wonder why I'm sweating. Good weather for paint to dry though. Excellent weather for paint to dry. This is the correct class to do in this type of weather because it's going to dry quick. And that's what we want because I am impatient. And we're technically only supposed to go for an hour. So as you can see, we've already really wet this page again. So we're going to have to probably heat that before we do the circle. But let me just think about what the circle template's going to be and then quickly grab it. I think I can see it. Right. Let's get this to dry. 1 second. One moment, folks. Okay. Whew. 3-inch. So we got our 3-inch circle template. That's good. Right, but we're going to heat this from the back again. Just trying to get that dry. So let's just come in. So like these areas here where the colour is brightest over this page is where it's the wettest. So we're just trying to come in and really remove that. There we go. Now let's pull out the circle template that we're borrowing from Mum. Mum. And let's see. Where would this be better? That's a bit too much in the center. Go for here. Let's just come in. And let's grab a thinner paintbrush actually. Let's grab, it's a bit thinner.
Did you want to?
Compared to our
Oh,
usual.
your hands are dirty. You're not touching my book I made.
Oh. Alrighty then. Be warned, the paint on my hands is wet.
Yeah, I know. No, can't touch my book.
Oh, okay.
If you clean your hands off, you can show them the book.
Unlikely to happen in this class.
Right.
Right, so just using, there we go, the template just a little bit loosely. We're just going to come in and really try and, oh, hello Karen. And then do that one. Now if we come in here, and do this one. And then let's, I think, add a little bit here. And then come in. And just, we did freehand this one. But that's okay. You'll see what we'll do on the gaps in a second. We're just still deciding on the colour. If we go for another blue, or if we go for like a pastel pink, or if we go for purple. Like really, options are endless here. If you're not okay with freehanding this bit, all you have to do is grab the next size up circle template and use that, which would be a 4 or a 5. Which I'm okay if you're not 100% sure and freehanding drawing circles. That's okay. Perfectly fine with that. And then come in here and drop colour in. And then there we go. And then if we come in next, this one. I'm gonna get pinged for sound. We'll be fine. My little sister had all afternoon to practice, and now's the time she decides. Okay, here we are. Now we're up to this point, which we've made kind of like a circle type pattern, and then if we come in with, I think, a bit of purple maybe. Yeah. So we just grab a bit of this purple, a bit of white to make it a little bit more opaque. There we go. Not too much white. It's always hard when the tube's nearly empty. I get that. That's why if you do have leftover acrylic, you can put it on like a little plastic dish, or even if you're using a palette, and then you can put it in the freezer. And when you pull it out of the freezer and wait for it to defrost a little bit, you can use it like brand new. So let's just come in. By adding the white paint, it is going to make it just a little bit more opaque, but I think that's kind of what we're going for. Just adding a little bit of blue on there while we go. Just so that we don't lose it entirely. And then grab a bit more of that purple now that we've cleaned our paintbrush. Away the other watercolour and the paint. Keep nudging away at that white. And then go. And then let's And this one up here. It's just about adding a little bit different, a little bit of brightness to it. I'm just blending it out with my finger there. And then if we come in, there we go. So I added the white in first, and then I put some purple on top, and now I'm just going to come back in. A little bit of white. And then let's come in and add feel like a clear line here. And then I'm just going to keep, I know I keep saying and then. Truly sorry about that. And go, and now. Go. Look at that. We're looking pretty good, I think. And then let's come and add a little bit of purple to those areas. I think this is just helping us to add motion to our art journal page. Just a little bit of it. Okay. Just clean off my paintbrush. And then I know this week is Easter and we're supposed to be doing Easter themed stuff, but we can do that next week. Do some Easter themed things next week. After Easter, you know? Meals you need to go and get a milk. It's after bedtime. Sorry. Thanks, Dad. Oh, thank you, Rosie. So yeah, we're just adding a little bit here and there. I do think we need to add some of it here. And then let's see.
Yes, Mom? Yes, Mom.
If we come in and do a little bit, and then come in. Going down. It's kind of doing like a white outline. And then there we go. Now because we've done like a white outline in some of our areas, so come into one just very lightly here. I am trying to show you like an optimal height. And then let's come in and then do a dark outline. Our darkest blue in our watercolor. So if you did this in other colors, you'd use the darkest tone that you have, or the darkest tone you could create. With that one there. Hello, Karis. I saw your page too. I saw a heap of your creations last week. I've been going back through the Creative Family group. I tend to go silent for a couple of months and then I'll come back in. But yeah, I'm loving all your work. I saw yours just as I hopped on today, Karis. It looked amazing. The version of last week's. Okay. And then okay. And now okay. And then let's come in and look at that. I actually think that's pretty good. Oh, I know I sound a little bit surprised, but look at it. Look how nice it is. Oh my gosh. Okay. Now we do need to come back in with our turtles because like our little tidal wavy thing has kind of taken over our page, which I don't mind personally, but we did spend a lot of time on our turtles. So let's just, before we do that, 1 minute, while I'm having this brainwave, just grabbed a skewer. And did 3 little dots there. And then 1, 2, 3. 3. And then 1, 2, 3. Just add in little dots. Do you think that these little dots help out? That is nice. Okay, before we get taken away by doing dots. Turtles. Turtles, 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 turtles. So let's just come in now. We're going to get a bit of this black watercolor. And then fast. Keep adding. I am being very careful not to add too much water, not to let it bleed, just because it can take over a little bit. And then go. I think I might be going a little bit overboard with the black. I'm gonna have to bring back in some blue in a minute. We'll just come in with that blue. So like it drips. Oh no, not over the white line there. Deary me. This is where things start to get a little bit strenuous. It feels like only having one outline turtle. Okay, and then hold up. Right, we got this. Right, so the next one, I think we want to do this one up here maybe, and this one here. What are we thinking? Just around. Oh, the pack be ready. So, yes, the pack will be ready on Wednesday, Karens. Yes. Yes, it's just going to be the turtle stencil for this one. As we really only used an oil pastel and the watercolors. So, a clear oil pastel. So, yeah. We'll have the stencil ready for you on Wednesday. And whenever you guys order, we'll have stencils ready for that too. And then so let's just come in now. I feel like that one went a teensy bit better than the other one. Oh, would you look at that? We're applying the same technique to what we did to the first one. We just come in with a little bit of black and then we continue to water it and we get it into the gaps and we try and aim to only do like an outline of it, so where the oil pastel isn't. It's not too hard. If you get it on top, obviously it's going to move pretty much straight away, but it does help to have a little bit more control on the step by just doing it in the gaps. But once again, if you get it over top, not the end of the earth. And okay. Just coming in. And doing the last tail. Okay. Now we're looking pretty snazzy. Not gonna lie. This is him up close. I do think we need more dots, personally. What do you all think? More dots? I know it's very effective with the few dots we do have, but I'm just thinking. Like if we come in just a few dots there. Oh, I've got white paint on my shirt and it's a black shirt. Oh dear. This is one of my favourite shirts too. Yikes. Well, it's all boob area as well. Dear me. Okay. We'll be soaking the shirt. Let's just do a few up here. few down there, and then come in with a bit of this metallic purple. There we go. And now there we go. And I think we might be done. Does anyone? I don't know. Could just come in real quick, and then with our finger, look that up. We have wet the page through and through, so this is just a little bit difficult to lift it, so it doesn't touch any of the others while we do some inking with watercolor on our finger because the pigment is wet. Look at that. These new Matte Metallic watercolors are superb. Just beautiful. And then there we go. A blue. Oh, actually, now that we've done a little bit in the blue. Just add a bit there. And I think we are done. What do you guys think? I'm quite happy with it. You guys got to see how to do layering with oil pastel and watercolor. It's just clear oil pastel. It actually comes in a wrapper, but we tend to take the wrappers off in our family. And the maintenance of how to keep your stencil clean while using oil pastel is also within this video. Well, in the class as we went along, we did it because we got a bit cloggy. And yeah, so I hope you all enjoyed it. I'm sorry I didn't really explain the bit where I was painting, like where I was making the circles, but I hope you could see that once you've done one, just about repeating it and really choosing where you want those colors to go. But thank you all for coming, and yeah, we shall see you during the week. Happy Easter if we don't, but if we do, can't wait to see you again. Bye.